A very good afternoon to you and a warm welcome to UBC Lunchtime News on this 18th day of September 2024. I'm Lorraine Masika Kazimoto here to bring you this afternoon's news bulletin. We start off with our first headlining story this afternoon. The Uganda Virus Research Institute and its implementing partners have launched the first phase of a Crimean Congo hemorrhagic fever vaccine discovery study among humans and animals. This study incorporates multiple antigenic epitopes from different virus genotypes circulating in Uganda. According to the director of the Uganda Virus Research Institute, Professor Potiano Kalebu, the study aims to enhance global health security efforts by strengthening preparedness and response capabilities for emerging infectious diseases. Now, it is noted that approximately 3 billion people are at risk of Crimean Congo infection globally, with an estimated 10,000 to 15,000 infections occurring annually, of which 500 are fatal. We have the details.
It's one of those what we call viral hemorrhagic fever infections. Those are very, very terrible infections, and about 10 to 40% of people who get infected die. So it's a very serious one. It infects humans, animals as well. But in animals, normally it doesn't cause symptoms, but animals can get abortion and the rest. It is transmitted by ticks or contact between infected animals and humans. It is found a lot in the cattle corridor, in the areas where we have a lot of cattle and animals. And it's an infection that has no vaccine and has no treatment. So the project that is going to be launched today, led by one of our staff, Dr. Sheila Balinda, with funding from UK Innovation, is to develop a vaccine against this Crimean Congo hemorrhagic fever virus. And the reason we're excited is that she's going to use a platform called the chimp adeno platform that has been developed initially for COVID, funded through the Science, Technology and Innovation Office of the President, initially PRESIDE, but later STI, through that His Excellency the President's really push to have a local vaccine made locally. So we're very excited that the funding and the push from the President is bearing fruits.
And it is listed as a priority disease by WHO and has a potential for outbreaks and rapid spread to new geographical regions. Since it was first described in 1944, there's been a significant increase or reports of CCHF infections in various areas, particularly in the African region, as well as most of Asia, so that is low and middle income areas. However, there's been, I think in 2022 or 2023, there was a slightly large outbreak that affected more than 50 countries, and I think at that time it did spread also to Europe. And then there have been outbreaks in Europe, Africa, and Middle East with a mortality rate of about 11%. And currently, again, as Professor highlighted this morning during the opening remarks, there are no therapeutic interventions and all prophylactic vaccines available to date.
Now, local governments have appealed to the Ministry of Finance for an increase in the budget allocation for road maintenance and rehabilitation. Every district is currently receiving 1 billion shillings for roads rehabilitation, but the leaders say this is not yet adequate for the poor state of roads in the districts. They propose renaming the 1 billion shillings road maintenance grant to the road rehabilitation and maintenance grant, arguing that many roads now require major rehabilitation. The Ministry of Finance is currently carrying out a countrywide budget consultation and giving feedback on issues raised during last year's discussions.
The current position is that Cabinet resolved to first halt creation of new administrative units. as you are aware, because even the existing are complaining, like you've been hearing, lack of money, lack of money, lack of money. Now, if I create that in your local government with no money to implement government services, that means I'm going to either recruit staff and they sit, or I just put up the structure with no staff. Actually, and it is happening. There are some places where you have parishes with no parish chiefs.
Most government promises are in theories, so implementation is a challenge. Even in terms of roads equipment, there are districts that should be given special roads equipment. Otherwise, roads intervention is very difficult. So if such funds could be actualized and also special roads equipment be given to districts along the lake shores.
If possible, Uganda Road Fund consider giving this new administrative unit road fund also for them to operate, because those the older administrative units that are receiving are not catering to the new ones.
We are all being appreciated, all people appreciating that we have at least 1 billion for road maintenance. To me, I would say there is nothing, because for the last 2 financial years, before last financial year, we are implementing Uganda Road Fund at 1.3 billion. Then, last financial year, Uganda Road Fund dropped to 300 million. Then road maintenance, 1 billion. Where is the money for Uganda Road Fund? The executive director should explain where has that money gone, because we thought this would be additional.
What we are picking from here is that Ministry of Works and then Uganda Road Fund need to look at the guidelines and see how we can accommodate those peculiar needs of these local governments. And the line ministry is committed to go and look at those guidelines to see how we can accommodate such peculiar needs.
One hand there, so 1, 2, 3.
UBC Lunchtime News. Now, farmers in the Ariwa, Ramogi and Kululu sub-counties of Yumbe district are facing significant losses following recent floods that devastated their crops. The flooding, which occurred in late August last week, also resulted in the deaths of livestock and displaced approximately 500 families for several days. The farmers are now calling for urgent interventions to address the flooding situation.
These are maize, tomato and cabbage fields belonging to Patrick Toko, a progressive farmer in Okubani village, Ariwa sub-county, Yumbe district.
We did not know that the rain is going to disturb us. There, before the rain come, I started to pick the tomato. Just 2 times there, the water come. Even the cabbage was about to be ready. The water came, so they destroyed the crops, all.
Vita Fadil and Zainab Wako, members of the Warukode farmer group in Kulata Parish, Kululu sub-county, focus on rice cultivation. During 2 periods of heavy rain, a portion of their rice crop was washed away by the floods, forcing them to halt further planting.
We want to plant 7 to 10 acres. We plowed these acres, but it's the time for planting. On June, there was a lot of sunshine. After reaching August, we have been also suffered of this flood.
The
floods resulted from the burst banks of the Ore and Koro rivers, which overflowed and inundated these gardens. Some affected farmers received humanitarian assistance from partners such as Norwegian Refugee Council, which is involved in refugee response efforts in BDBD. They note that the negative impact on farmers in Yumbe also affects the refugee population.
Yumbe is also home to the largest refugee settlement, most of whom were depending on these crops that we were growing as a substitute for food rations that were recently cut. Actually, with situations like this, all partners across the divide, governments, local government, partners, and even development partners, it's actually a time to come and unite together to find a more durable solution for some of these challenges. It's not only a challenge for NRC.
Fenigad, the Yumbe District Agriculture Officer and a member of the District Disaster Management Committee, reported that the rapid assessment has been concluded following the disaster.
We have just concluded a rapid assessment, and we're already discussing, and even we conducted our some of our MPs to do for us linkage. Yes. Also, the entire lower belt of Yumbe district that were mostly affected. Parishes that are extremely up, we are safe. So in numbers, about 6 parishes got affected.
Joseph Fodama, UBC News.
Thank you, Joseph Fodama. Now, stakeholders in the education sector are calling for affirmative action to establish compulsory inclusive education for underprivileged children in Buikwe District. Director of Just a Boy Orphanage Foundation in Wakisi Division, Stephen Makati, emphasized that this initiative will bring renewed hope to less privileged children. Despite facing funding challenges, the foundation now aims to support over 500 orphans, a significant increase from the previous 100.
Even the director, Just a Boy Orphanage, located in Wakisi, that is in Jeru municipality. I do handle education and other necessities for the disabled children and the most vulnerable here in Just a Boy Orphanage. I want to call upon government to help these organizations that handle people with disabilities, handle the vulnerable children, handle other people that are unprivileged. I want to cite an example like World Needs International that have been bringing to us inclusive learning in sports. They evaluate us with footballs, volleyballs, and other playing kits to help the children achieve what they need. The major objective here is to give people hope, especially those affected with HIV and AIDS. I therefore call upon well-wishers, call upon the government, organizations that can help these children achieve what they need.
Leaders from various districts in Bunyoro and Toro have expressed concern regarding several critical areas that need attention, such as roads, health, government worker recruitment, and tourism, in anticipation of the 2025-26 budget plan. The issues were raised during a 2-day budget conference held in Hoima.
During the conference, leaders from the Bunyoro and Toro regions urged the government to prioritize their concerns.
We are looking at Fort Portal as Uganda's tourism city. We are looking at it as one of the leading tourism cities in Africa. You cannot be allocating it such a little money in line with infrastructure development, mostly roads, that should be at least giving that vista experience to our people as they traverse the tourism city.
So my appeal is that the government should really see the money for fence construction, that's electrical fence, should be really put in place. Secondly, as the police is concerned, we are also discussing that the police in the health department, we need much emphasis, because these days the issue of recruitment was a bit banned by the center, but we are appealing that the government should really see that the recruitment exercise is being lifted up so that we can recruit more workers.
According to the LOC5 chairperson of Kagadi, the government needs to focus more on infrastructural development, including roads, bridges, transportation, networks, and the protection of national parks and tourism.
The road that can access people of Kagadi, which one day His Excellency talked about when he was in Chibale, is Chienzige, Gashari, Changwari. It's another shortcut connecting the people of Kagadi to Kabarigi International Airport, oil fields in Bunyoro, and the rest of the world. So if those two issues are addressed, one is smart land demarcation for both the land that is under Uganda Land Commission and the settlement scheme under Office of the Prime Minister. People get titles, work on Ndaiga Road, Mboro Ndaiga, and Kienzige, Rugashari Kyangwale, which is access to the international airport Kabalega and oil fields. I think as Kagadi will move.
Sylvia Mutamba from the Ministry of Finance stated that Toro and Bunyoro have the highest unemployment rates and poverty levels.
Toro has the highest unemployment of the working age population in Uganda at 14.6%, and Bunyoro is second highest at 17.3%.
John Muheireho, the acting commissioner for budget policy, advised government civil servants to stay clear of corruption that may lead to unemployment.
As leaders and in the districts, ensure that they don't tolerate this situation continue. There's a case where all the people who applied for jobs in some districts, we are all told to bribe to spend some money, but they not less than 10, 15 million.
However, the Minister of Finance, Matia Kasaija, revealed that although the country is facing economic challenges, they are working so hard to address these issues.
I want to assure you that these issues will be addressed in a phased approach as and when resources become available.
Charity Marion Imnat and George Nyonzima for UBC News.
UBC Lunchtime News takes a very short break, but we return with more stories after these messages.
Yellow, this is MTN. We are currently in Nakaloke, Mbale District, Bilari, Nursery and Primary School. We are here to award a winner, and our winner happens to be Mubaraka Hadija.
Naine mukwano gwange ne mugamba konti aba MTN bankubidde esimu ne bangamba nsasudde school fees era ndi muwanguzi. Nadamu nangamba nti aba bafere. Nze ne mugamba nti naye banga bafere. Banga bagenda kujja school fees wange bamulete. Kandi ndo olunaku olwo banaaba baleeta school fees awo njoke nzikize nti si bafere. Abazadde abali eyo mbagamba beeyongere okukozesa MTN Momo okusasula school fees w'abaana baabwe bajja kuba bawanguzi nga nange weepangudde olunaku lwa leero.
Abantu bawangula *165*80# osasule school fees. Kozesa ne Momo app osasule school fees.
Together, we're unstoppable.
Indomie Instant Noodles is available in 3 flavors of chicken, beef, and vegetable. Buy your Indomie Instant Noodles in supermarkets and dukas near you anywhere across Uganda. Indomie Instant Noodles, Uganda's best loved noodles.
You used to tell me that I don't make you happy. All that time you would be complaining. I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, baby, don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000. Or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100*21# and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Welcome back from that break, and now into the business scene. Cosmetics industry leaders are calling for the National Drug Authority to oversee the regulation of beauty products with pharmaceutical properties rather than the Uganda National Bureau of Standards. This was during a consultative meeting between the Ministry of Trade and stakeholders in the personal and healthcare products sector.
Currently, Uganda imports cosmetic products valued at around $103 million annually, and the business employs approximately 30,000 Ugandans. The Ministry of Trade believes that streamlining this sector by strong regulations could boost Uganda's export capacity and help stamp out counterfeits.
And this time we are looking at health and personal care products, which we call cosmetics. Cosmetics, we are importing 20 billion worth in Africa of cosmetics. In Uganda here alone, we are importing $108 million. But because of this support by different companies, we have started repressing these imports. And as we speak now, we have import replacement of around $13 million, and we're exporting $17 million. We also, the cosmetics companies are employing 30,000 Ugandans. So the reason for meeting them was to, one, to appreciate their contribution to the economy, second, to get progress within the sector, and also to listen to their challenges.
Stakeholders are pushing for a review that would transfer the regulation of pharmaceutical-related beauty products to the NDA.
Some of the challenges they have raised include the new law about health products being regulated by DNA instead of UNBS. They have also raised issues of taxes. They have raised issues of allowing imports in the country which are fake. And all these are the issues that we shall continue to discuss and follow up.
The cosmetics industry involves the production, distribution and sale of beauty and personal care products such as skincare, makeup, hair care and fragrances.
The second issue we have been talking about and discussing is the digital conformity mark, which is affecting our sector to such an extent that the costs of certification have in some instances gone beyond 200 or 300%, depending on how you calculate. The third element we have been discussing is about the business environment in the country and the cost of production in the country, and trying to see how we can ensure that we do more import substitution.
As new brands increasingly enter the market, the Trade Ministry is working with stakeholders to leverage the sector's economic potential while maintaining high product quality. Crispus, Ainitwe, UBC News.
The Uganda Printing and Publishing Corporation has contributed to social development through its corporate social responsibility program focused on supporting vulnerable children. The foundation donated educational materials such as smart books, pencils and school bags and sanitary supplies to Babi Children's Foundation in Kisimu Cell, Nansana Municipality.
Several children's foundations in Kisumu Cell, Nansana Municipality, Kampala also received educational materials including smart books, pencils and school bags, sacks of posho, sugar and sanitary supplies. The Corporate Affairs Manager, Rebecca Nyakairo, emphasized UPPC's commitment to supporting education and child welfare, highlighting the importance of giving back to the community to help vulnerable children achieve their dreams.
We have donated the smart books, UPPC books. These are exercise books. It's a new project on board, and we want to contribute to the education environment by ensuring that the community has access to cheaper materials like such books. They are very cheap, and we invite the general public and the education stakeholders to come and work with us.
100 bags of cement can really take us at least more 3 classrooms here, as we look for other donors who can give us like iron bars and bricks. Thanks so much, Mr. Director, for sure, for this kind of input.
Director International Operations Joseph said that the Children's Foundation is dedicated to supporting orphaned children of ex-soldiers who died in the war, along with many other vulnerable children, explaining the introduction of smart books as part of this initiative is significant as they are highly quality exercise books.
I've now pioneered, I've started, and today is basically, we have launched it in the form of donation to the vulnerable children. Now we have, we print all kinds of exercise books, we print even counter books in all quantities that everyone can, if you so wish, to get them. They are of high quality, the paper that is used is of high grammage, and we hope that the public outside there will appreciate it.
Winnie Ainembabaz Katire and Nabasa Viola for UBC.
Now into some international news this afternoon. South Sudanese are expressing mixed reactions to the decision to extend the government's transitional period for 2 years. Some residents of Juba say their hopes for elections have been crushed, and they are frustrated by politicians who do not care about the aspirations of the people.
Expected late this year. In March 2022, the transitional government extended its life until December 2024 in what was called a roadmap for implementing the 2018 peace agreement. Min Gabriel, a resident of Nimra Talata residential area in Juba, says his hopes for electing the country's leaders are disrupted.
We need the elected government. The current government is a government of the parties to the agreement. And these parties to agreement, what they prioritize is their interests, and not the interests of the people of South Sudanese. If it is the interest of people of South Sudanese, why they always extend after 2 years, they extend another extension. Even this extension to 2026, there will be another extension again. This extension is too much.
According to the presidency, the remaining month of the current transitional period will be used to mobilize funds to effectively implement the peace agreement. Zahara Said, a resident of the Gurei area, asks how the government will be able to complete the pending tasks after failing so many times.
The citizens who took it negatively had high hope in the elections in December. Even though no much preparations were done, they said the elections were the only hope for South Sudan. It will bring unity among the citizens. Now all our eyes, the whole world is looking at the president. Is he willing? We have been in transition after transition. Since South Sudan was born, we have been in transition. From 2005 to 2010, transition. From 2010, agreement after agreement after agreement. Now another one.
Folul Hawk, who lives in the Mangatene suburb, says his hopes for elections were shattered, and he wants the government to focus on improving the welfare of its citizens.
The transition is not moving the way South Sudanese expected it, because South Sudanese want to live in a country where their life improves daily, not shrinking every time and every day. And please work on improving the security and the economic of our country. The rest of the things are secondary. We know how difficult it is implementing a fees that is not being funded by anyone, but it is our country. We have to take the responsibility. You must pay the civil servant so that they serve the people of South Sudan.
Sebit Daniel, a resident of Lologo, says he was not surprised by the extension. He says President Salva Kiir and his 5 deputies should listen to their views.
I knew that there would never be election. With all this fracas, with all this noise and shuffling around, it is obvious that these leaders, the principals, they will devise other means of extending their rule. If they continue in this way, I think time and history will judge them. They should know that people know a lot about them and they can't deceive.
Martin Elia Lomoro, the Minister for Cabinet Affairs, said the election delay came after recommendations from electoral institutions and the security force. In addition,
now, Zimbabwe is set to follow the footsteps of its Southern African neighbor Namibia by culling at least 200 elephants and distributing the meat to communities that are affected by drought. We have more in this report.
Zimbabwean wildlife authorities have said they plan to cull 200 elephants to feed communities facing acute hunger, caused by the worst drought in 4 decades. Crops in southern Africa were wiped out by the El Niño-induced drought, impacting 68 million people and causing food shortages. Zimbabwe's cull, its first since 1988, will take place in 4 districts. It follows neighbouring Namibia's decision last month to cull 83 elephants and distribute the meat to people impacted by the drought. More than 200,000 elephants are estimated to live in a conservation area that spreads across Zimbabwe, Zambia, Botswana, Angola and Namibia. That makes the region home to one of the largest elephant populations worldwide. A spokesperson for the Zimbabwe Parks and Wildlife Authority said the culling is also part of the country's efforts to decongest its parks, adding that they can only sustain 55,000 elephants, but Zimbabwe is home to over 84,000.
And with that, UBC Lunchtime News has come to an end. Thank you so much for your company. Do enjoy the rest of the afternoon. I'm Loreen Masika Kazimoto.
UBC, inspiring Uganda. Pick of the day on UBC.
Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
Was brought to you by...
I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, baby, don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21 hash and select daily or use the MyMTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable. In a world where every day is a battle for survival, one man endures grueling hardships just to make a living.
Hey, yes, sir.
In Olwatuka, witness a heart-pounding journey of love. Pain, acrimony, and justification that the line between right and wrong has never been so thin.
Maybe I need to remind him who I am. So, you killed my wife.
Olwatuka film premiere will be on the 3rd of December 2024 at Uganda National Theatre, sponsored by
Max Media Promotion presents Omukwano Chechi Concert, taking place on the 27th of September 2024 at Tavern Woods, Kabusu. There will be exciting performances from Message Semakula, Jovre Lutaya, Winnie Nwaji, Kabuya Semboga, Queen Florence, and Olisha M. Entrance is only 20k ordinary, 50k VIP, and a table at 500,000. For bookings, call 0759 677 502 or 0785 310 388. Come ready to dance the night away from 7 p.m. till late. Sponsored by UBC, Success Motors, Kampala City Grammar, and KT Sounds.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
My name is Damali Sali and I welcome you to this episode of the Ideation Corner. The Ideation Corner is a space where ideas are discussed and dissected. And today I host Julius Enoch Naika, who is the founder and CEO of Famunera, and he's going to tell us all about it. Julius, you're very welcome.
Thank you very much, Damali.
Tell us about Famunera.
Famunera is an agri-tech company
that supplies in terms of sourcing inputs for farmers, and then we provide last mile delivery, e-extension services, and also produce market linkages in Uganda.
So in simple words, you provide things like fertilizer, seeds to the farmer.
Sure.
And then you deliver it to the farmer. And then when the farmer has, their product is grown, say maize, you buy it off them.
Exactly.
Is that right?
So what we do is we make sure we source these inputs directly from certified manufacturers, and then we make sure they reach the farmer within 24 hours from the time they order for them. Then also we make sure we follow them throughout production, from planting to harvest, how they are applying the different inputs we've supplied to them. And then at harvest, we come in and buy directly the produce for the few value chains that we've been able to specify, that is soya, millet, and maize. So those key 3 value chains we come and buy directly from the farmers, because we have aggregated demand from our larger off-takers. So after we buy and bulk from them, we know where to sell the produce. So we are guaranteeing market to the farmers such that as they come into a new season, they are sure of the price at which Farmera is going to be off-taking their produce at harvest for those few value chains I've mentioned. And for the rest of the crops, value chains like horticulture and other grain value chains where we don't yet guarantee market for now, they still source inputs from us, and at harvest they can choose to sell them wherever, or we recommend them to certain off-takers that we know, and they can be able to buy from them, and also supply them. Exactly.
It's interesting that you're also buying the produce, which is good, and you're guaranteeing the price. But what then isn't it for you? So if I'm going to do my maize, I'm a farmer, I have to get onto your platform, right? And buy the seed from you and the fertilizer from you.
Sure.
Then I go and grow it. Do you offer me any services then in between?
Yes. There are 3 channels a farmer can use to order for inputs from Farmera. We have a USSD code that doesn't require a smartphone.
Good.
Or doesn't require an internet-based device, because 85% of the farming community in Uganda are smallholder farmers and are rural-based, where there is no access to internet. So with the USSD, they are catered for. They dial our code, *284 *77#, and they are right on the platform to navigate and order for what they need. Then another channel, we have a web app that they can easily use their internet-based platforms, and then internet-based gadgets like a smartphone, and then they order. And then we have a call center where they can call in and they ask for what they need.
You can even order by phone?
Yeah, or via our US app, via our call center, and then they send the money via our mobile money, and then we are right on to deliver their inputs. On the USSD and web app, payment solutions are already integrated, so they pay right from there using mobile money. They can use Visa card. They can also use their wallet if they've been saving for inputs right on Farmera. So
can they pay by cash?
No. No cash. So by cash, we have a few, I would say, a few exceptions, especially farmer group leaders who are new into our network, who come in and they want to come and visit and confirm where we sit. Sometimes we allow them, and at that point they come in, they pay via cash, and then we issue them receipts, and then still we deliver to them. We don't sell right from the office because to keep our model. So this is just more to give them comfort, that window that, hey, this is where we are.
We're not a briefcase company.
We're not a briefcase company, but still we pay, we give you a receipt, and then we deliver to you as we've this. So at the time of extension services, we come in after they have gotten their inputs, and then we provide the extension services. Not only the e-extension, via the digital platform. That's via SMS and also emails. Not only that, or even via call center, we come in directly. Physically. But this is done for only those crops that we are doing for value chains.
Okay, the ones you're buying.
Exactly. And why we do so is because we want to be sure that the farmers that are doing that, because we are going to off-take directly this produce for those 3 value chains I mentioned, soya, millet, and maize, we come in and monitor our gardens.
Yeah. To guarantee quality, you guarantee...
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember, most of them, we have given them credit.
Oh, you also offer credit?
Exactly.
That's interesting.
Yeah, we offer it through our consortium partners. We have Nsibuko on board. We have Otas Africa Capital, and others that are in the pipeline. However, for those where we already have relationships, like for Nsibuko and Otas Africa, we actually own these gardens because we have provided credit. There are those who buy their inputs in cash, but for those whom we
providing credit
we also we come in and make sure we can monitor and make sure we advise on field such that right quality is assured. Now, for other crops which we don't buy directly as Farmnera, where we just link farmers to those off-takers we know at harvest that may consume their produce, we offer e-extension services via our call center, via SMS, via emails.
Those ones you don't monitor physically, but you just give them
e-extension.
Okay.
Yeah, via those channels I've mentioned.
So they can call, and then get advice on the phone.
Exactly.
Okay.
From our team of experts, agronomists, who can advise them on the best farming practices and how to apply the different farm inputs they have been able to secure or source from Farmnera.
Okay. So I'm sorry, I may have missed it, but you're saying that the credit is provided to farmers who are growing these 3 value chains.
Exactly.
Which is soya, millet, and
maize.
Yeah, maize. Okay.
Yes.
And how do you? Because it's interesting that you're providing credit. I know credit is usually the farmers' biggest problem. They don't have money, even though they want to do something. So. And most people don't. That's the one thing they don't do. They offer farmers everything but credit and finance. So I'm happy that you're actually providing credit, but how do you guarantee that you're going to make your money back?
Well, at that point, we have our API plugged on our different partners who are in our consortium.
So your system is connected to Nsibuko's system?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So our API is plugged onto Nsibuko's platform. So as they are VSOS, the Village Savings and Loans Associations, the basis of them, their major income source is farming. So they need inputs because that's where they get the money to probably transact on our partner platforms, which is Nsibuko, Otas, to be able to transact, to save, and also to get to save, and also to do all that work. So at the time when they need inputs to be able to farm, they find already our inputs right on Nsibuko's platform, or Otas' financial platform. And then they are able to...
So from the farmer's perspective, for them they're seeing one thing. From the farmer's perspective, I'm with Nsibuko through VSO. I'm a farmer, and what I see is that. And then when I want to buy inputs, it just automatically comes up. But it's actually Farmnera inputs.
Exactly.
Okay.
So our platform, the marketplace, is plugged onto our partner platforms like Nsibuko and Raw Financial of Otas Capital. So when someone clicks on get farm inputs, user interface shows up for Farmnera, and then they're able to see all the different farm inputs. There are options. They can choose to buy it by cash right on our partner platforms, or they can choose to request for credit, to buy on credit. At the time of buying credit, actually, our partner offers the credit.
So it's Nsibuko that offers the credit?
Yeah, okay. Or Financial. And then with this, we deliver the inputs to the farm.
So Nsibuko has paid you, actually.
Exactly.
But giving credit to them.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
We now supply the inputs where the credit has been offered, and then we do everything that we have to do, monitor production, offering extension services. And at offtake, we buy. At buying, we are able to actually cash the farmer less the credit.
And pay back in Civico.
And then we pay back in Civico at that point.
Okay.
Or pay back for financial at that point.
Okay.
Exactly.
I like the way you're all integrated, because for the farmer, for them, they just see one thing. I borrowed money, they gave me the inputs, and then I even sold. So you've guaranteed the supply, you've guaranteed the finance, and then you've guaranteed the market.
Sure.
And you had also said that at the beginning, for the 3 value chains, maize, soya, and millet, you determine the price. You tell them at what price you will be buying it at.
Offering prior to the start of the season. So they make decisions to participate into our outgrower scheme for those 3 value chains, knowing that at the end of the day, Farmnera has guaranteed me, let me say 2,000 shillings per kilogram. And so it helps them to actually farm with a purpose, with guaranteed market, and knowing at the end of the day that I'm sure I have market for my produce. So we are limited for now to those 3 value chains for now, because for everything you need a starting point. Yeah. But we hope to grow into other value chains where Farmnera will come in as a direct buyer and then buys. But for other crops, we still supply the inputs. Yes. They do their farming, we offer them e-extensions, and then we link them
to buyers
when they need to. They use our platform to actually also list and market their produce right from there. We can also be able to link them.
The buyers can also, on your platform, the buyers can also see them.
Exactly.
Like I'm a farmer, I'm in Busura, I have my maize, and then I say, I have maize, I have X kilograms.
Sure.
Then a buyer on your platform can say, oh yeah, let me buy from Damali.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. But not as Farmnera coming in and
buying directly, because Farmnera only buys from these 3 for now.
Okay. We are buying directly from those 3.
Is this thing across Uganda?
Yeah. We cut all over.
You're all over Uganda?
Sure.
Okay, that's really
However, for certain crops where we have value chains, we know those regions that produce the best, that are good at that, whose soils are good at that. So when it comes to this grain, we focused on northern and eastern.
Those are the regions with the good soils for grain.
Exactly. Okay. For that, for those 3 value chains.
Okay.
Yes.
Even millet. They're all grains.
Yes.
all the 3 are grains.
Sure.
I just realized.
Then also something that we've added on our menu and our grower schemes. It's not a grain. It's a horticulture crop. It's onions.
Oh.
So for that, we are majorly doing it in the mountainous regions. That is Sebei, Renzori, and Chigezi.
They're good for onions, the mountainous regions.
Yeah. The soils are right and fit for onion farming. They come out very right and the good sizes that we need.
Are you buying this also as well, the onions? You're buying them?
As of this season,
You're just starting to?
Yeah, we are doing so.
And you're providing the inputs, someone has credit on that, and then
Exactly.
It's the whole thing.
Yeah, when we come into a value chain and Farmnera is a direct buyer, you have to, if you need credit, you are guaranteed to have credit. If you need, of course, even on-field supervision and everything.
You can pay for it.
Exactly.
Okay. Then my other questions: what are the key crops that you see farmers growing, apart from these ones that, of course, you're very much invested in the entire value chain? What are those top 2 or 3 other crops?
That the farmers buy mostly, especially in inputs. Obviously, most of the farmers are more involved in on Farmnera, according to our stats. They are more involved in the value chains that we've been able to go for, because, and that's why
you went for them.
Yeah, because there are many, and it means when we aggregate market for them, we are sure of the supply.
Okay.
Yes. So whenever we realize that there are so many numbers in this value chain, so we decide to aggregate market, off-take market, and make sure we come in as direct buyers, because our system is able to monitor and know what potential yield will come out in this particular value chain. So we get to know which are on top of the radar, and then even it helps us to make decisions as to when to aggregate market, and we come in directly as off-takers.
And when to even offer credit to which value chain. Then it's sustainable enough, I suppose.
Because at the end of the day, here, supply is very key. You don't want to disappoint your final off-takers.
You have a contract to deliver these many tons of maize, and then you can't.
You can't deliver so that's what we do.
Okay.
And probably to give you history about Famnera, we officially began in 2016. 2013, we had Niken Foods. It was more of delivering fresh produce to you, the corporates, homes within Kampala region.
I'm not a corporate.
I would say uptown or urban.
Yes.
That is Kampala and metropolitan.
That was fresh.
Fresh produce, sourced direct from farmers. The story of Famnera came in as when certain produce wasn't coming in consistently as we wanted. And so what happened was we chose to do some farming ourselves for those crops. They were highly demanded, but the farmers were disappointing us at the time when we needed produce. You argue with a farmer will tell you, I sold it out. Someone gave me a better price. And yet you had agreed. Doing express agreements. I mean,
verbal.
Yeah, verbal. And even if you had a contract,
they could still sell to someone else.
It's just farmers. Sometimes that's who they are. And what happened was that we decided to go into those value chains and be able to grow ourselves and rent land and do the farming.
To guarantee the supply, okay?
Our biggest turnaround was, turning point was, we were sold fake inputs. Nothing came out. Nothing showed up at germination.
You put the seed in the ground and nothing grew?
Yeah. We sourced this from, I would say, the place is well-known, Kotaina village.
Everyone goes there.
We were sold fake seeds. We were sold fake other inputs like pesticides. And someone even told me if things never show up, come back and we can be able to sort you out. But when we went there, the lady said, I don't know you and I don't think you bought them from here.
Wow.
Yeah, so it gave me a picture that I think there was a bigger problem to solve, and it wasn't me alone as Niken. It wasn't us as Niken Foods, but it was everybody was complaining.
Yeah, the farmers,
So we said, I think we can come in and sort this out.
Yeah. So, it's interesting how you, whenever you face a challenge, you're like, you know what, we need to sort it all out.
So the problem wasn't up. I think we realized it was down on the grassroots. So after 3 years, 2016, 2013, 2016, we rebranded from Niken Foods to Famnera. Famnera is specifically two things, farm and Nera. So farm means farm. It is more of localizing it to fit the layman, FAMU, farm. Then Nera is more like, if you do it with us, because you've been conned out there, you've been sold fake things, if you come in today and do it with us, Nera with us, again with us, you will be able to actually do it over and over with us again, because you'll be happy, you'll be seeing the results you expected over and above.
Okay, so it's farm, Nera.
Yes.
Okay.
So Famnera,
I like that.
that's where the brand comes in. That's where it comes from. So 2016 until now, we are actually up to that.
So you've really
sorting it out.
You've grown from you've grown from what you initially thought, which is now the inputs, and then now you've gone to, support services. You've gone even now to buy the produce, and in a way you even to provide finance through your partners. So you've done the whole 360 almost. Where else are you growing?
I would say in the region, we are focused on grain, doing local to different agro processors, and also in East African market, we are focused on grain in East African community market. Then out there, I would say US, Europe, Asian market, we are focused on horticulture.
Okay.
That's where exports for horticulture are looking up.
Okay.
So that's where we are positioning ourselves to export horticulture.
Okay.
Then East African region,
grain. Okay.
Yeah, but it doesn't hurt if we have serious buyers of grain. Reason why we focus on grain here is because business-wise, you want grains, you have to use a ship to move them all the way. And the time it takes for you to get paid is a longer time, 3 months.
Compared to horticulture, which you use air.
Horticulture uses air. Within 24 hours, it's in the destination.
And you got your cash.
You probably paid the other part of your consignment, and you're fine.
Okay, that's why you're disaggregating. Grain, heavy cargo, you stay in East Africa.
Yeah, grain, because still vehicles, by the time they reach Kenya, Rwanda, or Tanzania, even here in Uganda, within 1 day or 48 hours, and still you get sorted financially.
And there's enough market anyway, right? I feel like there's enough market to buy the stuff, at least the grain that we have in Uganda.
Exactly.
There's enough market. Instead of you trying to look for it in Europe, you might why not sell it to the neighborhood? There's demand. But I don't see that much demand for horticulture, for example, in this. In East Africa, they're growing their own.
And also the premium price for horticulture, if you really want to find it, not here really. It's out there.
Okay. And before we came in here, you had mentioned how for horticulture you're targeting it has to be organic horticulture.
Exactly.
Yeah. Why is that?
Because you realize you get paid 4 times the money, if at all it is organic. Organic. So, and on Farmnera we have organic inputs, right, from pesticides, fungicides. For herbicides, we don't have organic. So what we advise farmers is to use the organic farming practices, that is mulching, doing manual weeding, so that they can be able to sort.
To still stay organic.
Organic.
Okay.
Then we have organic pesticides like Yumbe and others, fungicides, those that are organic that can be applied, and then we still have organic produce out.
And you had mentioned that the one thing you kind of do, which most people don't, is the traceability component.
Sure. Yeah. So what defines us different from other agri-techs in the space is everybody has a marketplace in the space. Everybody can be able to assist farmers source inputs. But where we come in different is that we make sure we can trace all that traceability, the inputs that have been used right from planting up to harvest. This is very key as me, an off-taker, and also to our final customers where this produce is consumed, the agro-processors and exporters. It's very key because they need to be sure the specification they gave you of the quality of produce that they want. If they can be able to access a traceability farm inputs history report right on the platform for all the produce, it guarantees a better price. You are able to command, a farmer is able to command a better price because they are sure they have their inputs report they've been using throughout production, and also the final off-taker can easily access them. So we are able to command a better price for the produce with that. So traceability is key in this game, and that's what we do and differentiates us. The other thing is none of the agtechs actually directly buys.
Yeah, I'm surprised you got into
or guarantees market.
Price, yes.
They are still doing market linkages. Farmnera comes in as a direct buyer. Yes, we started. We have 3 value chains. Sorry, 4 now. 1 horticulture and 3 grain. But at least we are doing it. Directly, and we are assuring a farmer a price from the beginning, and none does so.
Okay.
So those things really differentiate us. The other factor is on Farmnera, farmers can easily save for inputs. So they plan ahead.
E-wallet,
Okay. They can be able to plan ahead. You know what you're going to farm next season. On Farmnera, we have a planner. You can come use our planner. You put in whatever you need. it tells you how much you need to be able to have available. You start to save for that.
Okay.
And by the time the season kicks on, you're probably done with whatever savings you deposited, and all you do is to say, hey, Farmnera, kindly deliver my inputs here. And they are delivered.
It's interesting how far you've gone in this space. You've added bits and bits. Wherever you've seen a gap, you kind of added a bit, which is, I mean, really good, because I like the finance. I like the fact that you can buy the product, you guarantee the price.
The traceability.
The traceability component, even if it's currently just, even if the price, the buying and the guaranteeing of the price is on the first floor, you're increasing those value chains.
Sure.
Which is really great. You had said the delivery within 24 hours. What was that component about? And we just have 5 minutes left, unfortunately, but.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, with delivery, we have an internal platform. We manage it internally that manages different truck drivers, different borders, different bus companies on our platform. If you placed an order on Farmnera, we can easily know which truck or which bus is heading to your route and at what time. We have all these route schedules on our platform for the different delivery partners. So what happens is that you place in your order now, we get to map out how it's going to get delivered to you. That's if you're an elevated farmer.
And you guarantee it will be within 24 hours.
24 hours, no matter the location. And even for farmer groups and cooperatives, the same story. So here, we have already route charts. We easily know where, if you're in Gulu, we easily know who is heading there at what time, which bus company or which lorry company. Of course, bus companies, I don't mean heading using the passenger bus companies. They normally have courier sections.
Okay.
So we use the courier sections of them, and then they do deliveries. And what we do is that we make sure they have up-country offices for the individual farmers where they can come and pick their produce, their inputs on time. And then for farmer cooperatives.
And they come in a package?
Yes, they come packed.
Yes.
So they come packed in this package.
Okay.
It's well branded. And for the farmer groups, we deliver directly down to their farmer offices, farmer cooperative offices, or whatever they want us to deliver them. Exactly.
All right, we've run out of time, unfortunately. Do you have any last words that you would like to say?
I would probably call upon, I want to call upon all farmers in those value chains I've talked about, that is soya, maize, millet, onions. Farmnera is buying directly from you and assuring you market and a price at the beginning of the season. And for other crop value chains, horticulture and grain, you know them, sorghum and others, barley, horticulture like onion, like tomatoes and others, you can still source inputs from Farmnera that are quality. We offer you e-extension services, and you can use our platform to market your produce to potential off-takers. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you had it. If you're a farmer, please get onto Farmnera's platform to make use of all these wonderful services, which includes credit if you're in those key value chains, but also the services available for the other value chains. Thank you so much, and subscribe to the channel.
UBC, inspiring Uganda. Pick of the day on UBC.
Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, baby, don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000. Or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
this week on UBC.
My name is Namatovo Shadia. I'm in senior 3. Right now I'm studying at Mbale School for the Deaf. Imagine I'm the only deaf girl here, so it feels I'm unique. So I'm begging everyone outside there to at least vote for me. Just because I'm young doesn't mean that I can't do anything. I will grow.
Wow, okay. My name is Natasha Trisha, a student of Peace Horizon High School, Luero.
My name is Asimi Caroline Priska. I'm a student at Buganda Royal Institute.
My name is Akelo Lilian. I'm a student at Kololo Senior Secondary School.
Please, the Miss Super Soul celebrities and people are watching there, please vote me, and I'm ready to hold the crown.
In a world where every day is a battle for survival, one man endures grueling hardships just to make a living.
Hey, yes, sir.
In Olwatuka, witness a heart-pounding journey of love. Pain, acrimony, and justification that the line between right and wrong has never been so thin.
Maybe I need to remind him who I am. So, you killed my wife.
Olwatuka film premiere will be on the 3rd of December 2024 at Uganda National Theatre, sponsored by
AI has for quite a while played an important role in our development, in our daily work, in many areas of the business.
Artificial intelligence really is present in all our areas within the company.
Artificial intelligence has become a hot topic in recent years. AI-based voice assistants like Siri and Alexa feature prominently in a lot of people's lives. AI also plays an important role in the automotive sector. Today we'll take a deeper look at AI and the possibilities it holds for the future of mobility. AI is the simulation of human intelligence processes by machines. Oftentimes, though, people first think of an AI robot like the Terminator, or the machines from the Matrix that enslaved all of humanity as energy providers.
Oh, hell no.
There are many more examples from Hollywood that draw a frightening picture of artificial intelligence. Of course, all of this is exaggerated for dramatic effect, but there's still a little bit of underlying truth in it. We went to the recently opened NEO Innovation Centre in Berlin to talk to an expert who works with AI on a daily basis.
When people think about AI, they think about this big brain that is evolving on itself and then deciding what to do, but it's not like that.
So I would say from a high-level perspective, it looks like one single AI brain, but in practice, different technology are involved, and we are slicing the AI into, let's say, a pipeline.
AI consists of several subcategories. One is machine learning, which teaches a computer to use past experiences to make inferences and decisions.
So this is basically what you see here. In the background. So for conversational artificial intelligence, we first start with the audio signal processing to ensure with AI that we have the right quality. Then we continue with the transcription from the audio signal into text. We're also leveraging AI. Then we try to understand the content it's also leveraging AI, then we try to provide a fulfillment and the right answer. And at this stage, we also need AI to synthesize the answer in a nice emotional way. So end to end, everything looks like one brain. In practice, it's a salami.
One example of conversational AI can be found in Neo cars. It's called Nomi.
Nomi is here.
Can you open the left window for me?
Neo was the first car maker to implement in-vehicle AI. Nomi can understand what you want her to do without needing to use a preset command. Even though AI makes it possible for machines to learn, this type of program can only evolve within its boundaries.
So it might be a weakness at the audio component level. We need to add more different kind of noise, for example, and retrain. Maybe we need to add different phonetic alternatives and retrain the transcription, and so on and so on. So at the end, the end-to-end experience will be improved, and the AI seems to be smarter, but in practice, we just improve one component of the big story.
AI is not only used for car and driver interaction, but also much earlier during the process of developing and building cars.
Our engineers today already use artificial intelligence to specify new products. And also when we start developing software nowadays, we explore for the first time artificial intelligence in a generative way to create software. But also in the plants, we use artificial intelligence for quality assurance and to automatically improve our manufacturing processes.
Just like ZF, Audi has also implemented AI into its smart factories. High-resolution cameras monitor parts of the production process and look for product flaws like cracks in the material.
AI-based crack detection works like this. We take pictures inside the press using just normal still cameras. The software then does its job in the data center, where the AI model runs and evaluates the images. We send these images with the meta information about the quality, whether the part has a crack or not, back to the control system, which then processes it to give the inspector at the outfeed conveyor the chance to see whether a part is good or bad.
As of now, the final decision whether to discard or to keep a part is made by humans. AI eliminates the necessity for the worker to check every single part leaving the belt. And the AI can work 24/7 without getting tired, and so is way less likely to make mistakes and miss a faulty part. That increases overall production quality and reduces costs. The last aspect of mobility AI we want to focus on today is the self-driving capability of cars.
In particular, for driver assistance systems and autonomous vehicles, we use artificial intelligence for data processing. So data from the cameras, from the radar systems are really analyzed through artificial intelligence to make smart decisions for the driver.
Fully autonomous cars on public roads is still a dream. There are systems like Tesla's Autopilot and Mercedes' Drive Pilot that can drive the car on their own to some...
Almighty God, who in your infinite wisdom and providential goodness have appointed the office of leaders and parliaments for the welfare of society and the just government of humanity, we beseech you to look upon with your abundant favor these your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of such important trust in this land. Let your blessing descend upon them here assembled, and grant that they may, as in your presence, treat and consider all matters that shall come under their deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as promote your own glory, and to advance the good of those whose interests you have committed to their charge.
Item 2 on the other paper, communication from the chair.
Thank you. Colleagues, I welcome you to today's sitting. In the public gallery this afternoon, we have pupils and teachers of Holistic Junior School from Bitereko Sub-County, Mitoma District. They are represented in Parliament by Thomas Tayewa, MP in the North County, and Honorable Juliet Agasha Bashisha. And when I'm blessed, when I'm blessed and I get such an opportunity, I think that is a sufficient communication for today. Matters of national importance. Honorable Kabahenda Flavia. Honorable Pachuto, reaction to the communication.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank you for giving the people of Pakwach opportunity to make a comment on your communication today. Right Honorable Speaker, we've known leaders in this country, but you are one of such leaders, great leaders, not just leaders, that Mitoma has blessed this country with. Right Honorable Speaker, I say this from the bottom of my heart. There are many people who will deceive you and want to talk good things when you are dead. But I want to tell you that the people of Pakwach never lie. That's why, Right Honorable Speaker, yesterday I was disturbed because the River Nile banks have burst itself. And Right Honorable Speaker, there are very many young people like this from Pakwach who are not able to access schools. And there are teachers who have rebelled because they want motorized boats from the office of the Prime Minister because they can no longer manage to cross on these small canoes. And because we are blessed with such great leader like you from Mitoma, Right Honorable Speaker, I want to plead with you that this is not the first time that the River Nile has burst itself. And the young Ugandans from Mitoma, like you and the ones who have come here today, are not going to access education. Moreover, at the time so critical, just a few weeks, P7 are beginning examination. Right Honorable Speaker, I thought I should make this comment. I thank you.
Honorable Chief Whip, we have a memorandum of cooperation between Pakwach and Mitoma this week. So I really can't fend for Mitoma alone, and yet we have a cooperation agreement. So please, from the Chief Whip, from the office of the Prime Minister, they need help. The people of Pakwach, they need boats. The children need to cross the river. They also want to come to Parliament and see.
Right Honorable Speaker, I undertake to connect the Honorable Member direct to the responsible Minister such that the issue she has raised can be handled directly.
Thank you. I think Honorable Pachuto, link up with our brother, the Government Chief Whip, okay? Yes, we go on this issue. We ensure these children are helped. Yes. Procedure from Honorable Seungo.
Mr. Speaker, the procedural matter I'm raising, I'm also happy seeing students from Mitoma and the matter
the area you visited.
I visited
where they came.
And where I married from. But yeah, the minister promised to give us information, Mr. Speaker, yesterday. Minister of Finance, and fortunately, Minister of Education is also here. And if the kids from Mitoma are here, without capitation grant.
No, but Honorable Sewungu, have you read the order paper? Yeah, Honorable colleagues. Before you come, you don't check on the order paper. I keep my own. Yes. Honorable Flavia Rabhoro.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I welcome the children from Mitoma who are here. Right Honorable Speaker, I rise on a matter of national importance that concerns the people of Chegegwa in Kyaka South. and these people are living on and around Chaka 1 refugee land. They have been here, they have been on that land for a long, long time, Right Honorable Speaker, because government transferred the refugees in 1994 from Chaka 1 land to Chaka 2, and so the whole land has been occupied. But these people living on that land, Right Honorable Speaker, have been getting threats since 2007 of irregular evictions, which evictions have even caused them deaths at one time. Right Honorable Speaker, as we talk now, it is not only the people coming from Chegegwa occupying that land, but government in 2016 brought the people of Uganda who had left Tanzania and had been camped in Sango Bay. They brought them to Chaka 1 land, 8,000 of them. And so as we talk now, the same people have started receiving documents, both from the Honorable Minister Hilary Onek and some government entities, to threaten eviction. We have given them PDM money. They cannot invest it because they are living in anxiety, Right Honorable Speaker. We, as members of Parliament coming from Chegegwa, have tried to reach out to the Honorable Hilary Onek for a solution-based discussion to no avail. Right Honorable Speaker, I would like to request and implore you to cause a meeting between us, the members of Parliament of Chegegwa, and the Honorable Hilary Onek, who is the line minister, for us to have a discussion that has solutions on what we should tell these people, because some of them have even started selling their land at a very small price to go and just languish wherever they can, thinking that anytime they will be evicted, and evicted harshly. Right Honorable Speaker, we are living in anxiety and we don't want that to cause insecurity at this time. I thank you.
Government Chief Whip, I request that I assign you this. You arrange a meeting between the Minister for Disaster Preparedness and the members of Parliament from these affected areas. And I think beyond members of Parliament, you could call LC5 chairpersons, okay, to attend the meeting, and maybe this and RDC, so that you have buy-in of the community. They understand really what's going on. Thank you. The Government Chief Whip is going to coordinate this. Thank you. Honorable Acrobat Chiza.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity. I also join colleagues to welcome our future leaders from Mitoma who have come to see the proceedings of the House. Right Honorable Speaker, I rise on a matter of national importance regarding the charging of smart fees in most of the secondary schools in the country. Right Honorable Speaker, the initiative of SESMAT was so good when it was being initiated, because when it was started, Ministry of Education used it to train teachers in areas of skills, practical skills, knowledge. Yes, but to our dismay, Right Honorable, since COVID time, according to the information on the ground, teachers, especially from my sub-region, that is the Renzori sub-region, no longer get the training. Even now as we talk, the SESMAT fees has been increased from 1,000 shillings to 2,000. To make matters worse, even UNEB, because UNEB now as we talk, information from head teachers, they are saying to access UNEB stationery, one must pay. So my prayers, Right Honorable Speaker, last year this matter was brought to this House, and the response from the minister was not so clear. So my prayer is that we need a clear response in regard to this. Secondly,
no,
Right Honorable Speaker,
please, we stop there. It's
okay.
one matter.
Thank you so much.
Honorable Minister for Education.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to thank my colleague, Honorable Moses Kiza, for raising this very critical, important issue concerning the secondary science and mathematics program referred to as SESEMAT. Indeed, it is true, Mr. Speaker, this is a program that has been put in place, one of the effective tools that is being implemented in the secondary education to promote science and mathematics. And as you said, very many teachers have benefited to this program, and it is still being implemented. However, the issue that he raised about high charges of fee in order to access this program is something that we need to find out if it is an isolated matter. I want to request that we could liaise with him. He provide to me those specific isolated schools that might be going beyond the program line so that we deal direct with those schools. I beg to request and submit, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, your colleagues. So, Honourable Member, link up with the Honourable Minister. Honourable Megade, Robert.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, in 2022, Parliament passed the Fisheries and Aquaculture Act, and the President assented to the same in March 2023. It is now over a year. The Fisheries Ministry, or Ministry of Agriculture, has failed to table regulations operationalizing this same act. Unfortunately, they continue to implement some of the provisions in this act piecemeal. One of them, the commander FPU banned specific method of fishing for silverfish, which is hurry up. And what is perturbing that she's moving around, telling these people that the reason for delay to table these regulations is because of members of Parliament. And two, is giving specific holidays. That I've given you 2 days to fish, but if it wasn't for those members of Parliament, you would be fishing. So, Mr. Speaker, my prayer, one, to the Minister of Agriculture, because you have directed many times to have different meetings, which have not yielded results. It's for the Minister to table this Parliament, the fisheries and agriculture regulations. Then the other prayer is for the Minister of Defense. Now that the Commander FPU is not a member of this House, for the Minister of Defense to come with an explanation on the specific allegations by this officer. Those are my prayers. Yes, Honorable Kavus. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for this opportunity, unusual opportunity under this item. Mr. Speaker, the information I wanted to share with the Honorable Migade is that the Commandant FPU may choose to visit 2 or 3 learning sites in a district that has 70. And for those 3 learning sites, she gives 2 days grace period for them to fish. The challenge there is with other learning sites she may not have visited. They are under the same conditions. Then the other challenge, Mr. Speaker, is when the Minister banned fishing of silverfish, the Minister has not come out with any working out document or guidance on how fishing would be resumed. So the resumption of fishing for 2 days using the mechanisms or the techniques the Minister banned is also a challenge and causes us political challenges, Mr. Speaker. So we want the Minister to not only come up with regulations, but also to come out and state whether she's still in control, the Minister, or whether fishing has been taken up by defense, such that we deal with the defense other than the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. The member is no longer on the floor. It was Honorable Megadi who gave information. Because I don't know how can Parliament delay. The regulations are to be brought by the minister. That's what the law says. So how can Parliament be government chief whip? We need the regulations. It's a requirement of the law.
Right Honorable Speaker, in such a situation our hands are tied by the law, because if it is a requirement of the Act, then we have no option but to comply. I wish to undertake, in the absence of the Minister of Agriculture, Animal Husbandry and Fisheries, to communicate this request of Parliament in writing, such that the Minister can take appropriate action as required by the law.
Let the Minister update us on Tuesday. Honorable Kabugo Florence.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I raise on a matter of national importance in regard to the heavy damage that has been caused by River Nyamwamba over years in Kasese town. Right Honorable Speaker, on the 7th day of September, River Nyamwamba burst its banks, found itself in Kasese town, killed people, destroyed houses, and swept away merchandise, leaving the business community in a lot of suffering. Right Honorable Speaker, it has become common that every month of May, June, and October, this river bursts its banks and leaves very many people dead and property destroyed. My prayer, Right Honorable Speaker, before I go to the prayers, it is not happening in Kasese alone, but in Rwenzori sub-region, because districts like Ntoroko, Bondebujjo, Bunyangawa, and Kabarole are also affected. My prayers, Right Honorable Speaker, is that you appoint a team of technocrats from the Ministry of Water and Environment and find out exactly what could be the problem in Kasese.
Who should appoint?
I pray that the minister, Right Honorable Speaker, I pray that the minister appoints a team of technocrats to go to Kasese and find out exactly what the problem is, because every now and then we keep talking about this issue that never gets a solution. Number two, I pray that government holds accountable every person that has received money meant to desilt River Nyamwamba. Because we know government has released a lot of money to desilt that river, but we are not seeing what the money is being used for. And the people of Kasese think government has neglected them. Then finally, Right Honorable Speaker, I pray that government identifies disaster-prone areas and relocates people to safe areas for their safety. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Minister for Disaster Preparedness. Oh, that's... I think both of you can contribute. Well, yeah, because water is Minister for Water, I'm sorry.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. It is true that what the Honorable members raised is a challenge now in Kasese. And Right Honorable Speaker, last week I invited the UN agencies and we had a meeting on looking at the long-term plan handling Kasese, Ntoroko, and Bundibujjo. And we invited the members of parliament from Ntoroko, and this is a plan which is underway that we are organizing, and we will be able to have an interface with the community in Kasese. But the Minister of Disasters also sanctioned relief food items to be taken to Kasese. And I just want the honorable member to note that we are looking at a long-term solution. on how the community can be supported. And that includes the relocation that you also requested for. I thank you.
Thank you. Minister for Water.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity, and I want to thank Honorable Florence for raising the concern of our people. Right Honorable Speaker, let me thank you for checking on me when I was sick, and I'm happy to be back.
You know she's my OG, so you better.
Right Honorable Speaker, the issue of River Nyamamba is a big concern, and as government and the ministry, we have already in place the interministerial committee, which is being chaired by the Right Honorable Prime Minister. And there are already meetings which have been taking place, including last week, because it needs a bigger interventions. We have gotten the environmental issue, which also is evident, but as government, there's also some directives which was also raised from His Excellency the President that the Interministerial Committee is incorporating. I hope very shortly we shall reach there. But I would also want to get in touch with you, my honorable colleague, really, because there are other interventions that can happen, maybe the clean water, which is needed for our people, but we need to get to also incorporate you so that we get this solution. But as far as we are concerned, there's already an interministerial committee chaired by the Right Honorable Prime Minister. So, but it's good that we get in touch with her too. Thank you.
Thank you. That's Honorable Gilbert.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, the issues of flooding were raised on the floor of Parliament several times and several years. Right now, the ministry knows that in Kasese, within this specific period of time, there will be flooding. In Ilego, in my district, Amor, where I come from, within this specific time, there will be flooding. And I recall the Ministry of Works, the minister promised on the floor of Parliament that they are working on the permanent solutions almost 3 years ago. Up to now, nothing on the ground. The same problem is ever occurring every year. It is procedural okay if the minister could really be very serious and you put what you are saying into action. Every year we are seeing the same problem and people are suffering.
Thank you. Now, honorable colleagues, yesterday, this is a point I made that they will, as put straight by Honorable Gilbert Oranya, that we know the season. So we requested the Minister for Disaster Preparedness on Wednesday submit to bring a report to the House on how prepared they are to mitigate, because I'm receiving nearly I don't know how many MPs every week on the issues of disaster, and the answer we get the same. Even on the stores are empty. So, and yet it's coordinated under Office of the Prime Minister. So we requested to bring a report on Wednesday, and then we shall discuss that report. When we are discussing that report, is when all of us will come in. Because like, I don't think Honorable Remricha can be here now because of what is happening in Toroko. Or during this period, you can never see him here, and Honorable Anne. Because of what is happening in Toroko. We always know every year River Nyamwamba as a must. When you look at the money we have spent to mitigate, you know, resettling, giving food, every year. So let's wait on Wednesday, honorable colleagues. Let's wait on Wednesday when the minister presents a report, and we shall have a long debate on this issue. Honorable Dr. Musa Noah.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Right Honourable Speaker, the government has prioritized tourism as one of the key sectors to grow the economy of this country. During the regional meeting in Gulu, the issue of lack of artifacts and attractive features in regional tourist sites in the regions was raised. Yet in June, 28th June this year, the Minister of Government received artifacts from UK, 39 artifacts from UK. Those are artifacts which are taken by colonialists, and they are part of about 1,500 artifacts from Uganda that are lying in the University of Cambridge, Museum of Archaeology and Anthropology in the UK. These returned artifacts, it has been indicated that they are property of Museum of Archaeology in the UK. Yet these are Ugandan artifacts. And they are loaned to Uganda for initial period of 3 years with the possibility of extension. Now we have taken tourism as the key sector that we need to develop. This therefore means that we need to think of returning all the artifacts all over the world so that we can develop the tourist sector. My prayers is that I wanted the Minister of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities to brief this House and the nation on the arrangement of returning the 39 artifacts and clarify if indeed these artifacts are property of government of University of Cambridge, Museum of Anthropology and Archaeology. Secondly, I wanted the Minister of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities to brief us of the stock of artifacts from Uganda that are lying outside the country, in Europe, Britain, UK, and other countries. Thirdly, I wanted to know the preparations. Government should brief us about the preparations of taking this returned 39 artifacts to their different locations, because these are artifacts from Ankole, from Longo, from Buganda, and so on. The plan is to have this taken to those regions to develop tourism and museums in those regions. So I wanted to know the plans for relocating this artifact to their respective regions. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. On Tuesday, Minister for Tourism. This is a very critical issue which he needs to consult further. So let's give him a Tuesday to bring a statement. Kiza Nyendoha.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, for the opportunity. I rise on a matter pertaining the sharp collapse of sugarcane prices across the country that is defeating the principles of scarcity in economics. Around the close of the calendar year last year, the price of sugarcane per ton was ranging between 80,000 to 230,000 across the country. It has since collapsed, and it's a ton of sugarcane now is going for between 100,000 and 80,000. This is pushing farmers to leave the crop, and it's a bit a difficult situation, because normally when there is scarcity of a commodity, normally the price goes up. The same farmers are now failing to even purchase fertilizers, because sometime back we raised the issue of fertilizers being very overpriced, and we had been promised that the price would be handled. Right Honourable Speaker, sugar industry is a major contributor to the economy in form of taxes and employment. My prayers, a comprehensive review of the sugar value chain should be undertaken to investigate the underlying causes of this sharp collapse of sugarcane prices. I implore government to retable the sugar amendment bill. They had brought it here, but the points of departure were very many. I thank you for ably chairing a meeting between the farmers and the millers and the ministry, where the ministry withdrew the bill, promising to go and reconsult and come back to the House with a better bill. The challenge we are having in that...
I thought you finished. Now...
This part of the prayers. Part of the prayers, that particular bill, one of the challenges was it was full of one veiled zoning.
Honourable Rule 80 of our rules of procedure, please.
I submit.
Thank you. Now, I just want first to put the record clear that the minister never withdrew the bill. Okay? The bill, yes, the minister requested to go and consult. And I also went an extra mile in those consultations. So, and something might be cooking up soon. But Honourable Minister, please, for trade.
Thank you,
Mr. Speaker, it is true that the price of sugarcane has come down because of a number of factors. And as you know, we are running a liberal economy. The only way government can intervene in a sector is through a piece of legislation. When we brought the bill here, Mr. Speaker, you participated in the negotiations, and the honorable member from Masindi was one of those that actually was opposing the continuation of the bill. So today I'm extremely happy that the honorable member has realized the point that we are making, and we have finished the consultations of the bill. Mr. Speaker, we are now ready to consider the bill so that the price setting, the minimum price of the sugarcane can be determined through a legislation. I thank you.
Thank you. Honourable Minister, I'll be waiting for communication because we agreed before we come back on the floor, we hold another meeting with the MPs from sugarcane growing areas to first reconcile. No, there is no one on the floor, so the rules. Honourable Kwekateria James, these are your rules, Honourable. I'm sorry.
Mr. Speaker, I have a matter of national importance, and this one concerns disaster that has befallen 2 primary schools in the Bunya County.
Attention, please, Honourable, correct. Let the minister first.
The room was, the one other roof was blown off from one block from Baligasima Primary School. My prayer, I'm requesting the Minister for Disaster to avail us with the necessary roofing materials to ensure that these P7 children sit for the exams, because there are actually serious Ugandans that need to pass. Mr. Speaker, that is my prayer.
Honourable Minister for Disaster Preparedness. Thank you, Honourable James.
Honourable James prayers about the roofing materials. What I can provide as a ministry, upon receiving the report from the disaster committee, will be the iron sheets. Therefore, I request the honourable member that please let the cull write to our ministry and attach the disaster committee report, and we'll be able to provide. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Honourable Minister for Education.
Thank you so much, Right Honourable Speaker. I want to thank our Chair for Education Committee, Honourable James, for raising this critical issue, and really it is so sad that the disaster occurred in a primary school, especially where the candidate class are housed. But Mr. Speaker, I just wanted to add that the Chair is aware our Education Ministry has no budget for disaster. However, as Ministry of Education, we have provision in the budget as school facility grant, and there is a provision for school maintenance. This money is in every local government district. However, it's not meant for disaster. It is meant for the district to ensure we give a facelift to our schools, especially primary schools. But what I wanted to add here, in such an urgent matter where really learners cannot be able to sit for PLE, the district, we could ask them to prioritize and to ensure that part of these funds could really save the urgent situation other than allowing the children not to sit for their PLE. I beg to...
Thank you. Honourable Minister, I don't know whether you're sure that that money is already at the districts, but honourable colleagues, I received a request from the government chief whip. There are around 6 cases, 6 members whom he wants to redesignate. So I just want to grant that request Government Chief Whip, please, you can do it now.
Right Honorable Speaker, I move under Rule 1510C and Rule 162 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament to designate with the approval